with Microcom Technologies, and welcome to our webinar featuring Peplink today. We have Tim Simdorn with us from Peplink, and pretty much, Tim, I'm going to turn it over to you. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thanks, Scott. First of all, I want to thank everyone for taking the time out of their day to listen to the presentation. I'm very excited about it. The Peplink Balance line of products has been, the sales numbers have just been soaring, and it's a perfect time to jump in and start pushing this product. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started here. All right, so some common business network challenges that everyone faces today. WAN dependency is always increasing. Cloud apps, Salesforce, Google apps, WebEx, things like that. Internet communications, VoIP, of course, email, corporate apps across offices, CRM type applications. Bandwidth demanding is ever increasing. People have large file transfers to do, video conferencing, lots of media rich web activities, YouTube and the like. Demand of mobile and wireless network accessibility from mobile locations, being able to and wanting to establish a VPN. From our iPads and different tablets and Android phones, iPhones, you name it. And of course, always ever-increasing pressure of cost reduction. These are definite challenges that everyone faces. So, the Peplink Solutions, cloud popularity will always lead to increased demand and bandwidth for WAN load balancing. WAN flexibility and cost reduction will be recurring objectives for enterprise IT departments, having load balancing, site-to-site VPN bonding. Mobile smart devices drives WLAN demand to new heights, and we have a business WLAN solution. Mobile 3G, 4G bonding will enable next-generation video apps. Mobile bandwidth bonding is a huge aspect of that. So, the Peplink Advantage, how do we solve and deal with these challenges that businesses face? Well, first of all, reliability inside and out. I can't say enough about the stability and the reliability of our product. A lot of cheap dual or multi-WAN products in the industry aren't proven. You have to reboot them a lot when you get to work or throughout the day sometimes. Ours just works. All changes are made in real time. You'd never have to reboot the device to make a change. In fact, the only time the box ever needs to be rebooted is on a firmware upgrade. That's kind of obvious. So, top-of-the-class stability and extreme high performance. Ease of use. Our web UI is very simple, very straightforward, extremely easy to use. You can take someone who isn't very network savvy and walk them through getting this thing set up in a couple of minutes. It's that easy. Very simple, straightforward, very easy to deploy. Continuing innovation, integrated hardware, software, product design, enterprise-grade features. The Peplink Balance firmware tends to get firmware upgrades, I would say 2 to 4 times per year. So there's always new features, enhanced features being added. We take the feedback we get from resellers like yourself and customers, end users as well, and continue to try to always add and improve on the flexibility and functionality of the Balance. So this isn't a stale product. You don't buy it and then it'll just sit there. It's always continuing to have new things added and enhanced. Global recognition. We sell these things all over the world and literally do have customers all over the world, and support teams to support all those customers as well. Some of our customers, I'm not going to sit and read off all the names on here. They are posted on our website, but we do have a number of high-end users that deploy and use our products on a day-to-day basis. Peplink Balance, a comprehensive network solution. So, one-stop solution for all major network connectivity challenges. Easily add bandwidth and reliability while lowering the overall cost. You can manage up to 13 independent WAN connections. One of the new features we have in our latest firmware is our WLAN controller. It's a software add-on for the Peplink Balance 380 and above. Industry-leading price-to-performance ratio. If you compare our solutions to others in the industry from the likes of of fat pipe or X roads or things like that, we cannot be beat on price. Our price performance ratio simply cannot be beat. So four solid solutions. Our site-to-site VPN bonding, which we're about to get into, mobile bandwidth bonding, WAN load balancing, and the business WLAN controller. 4 key focus points for us. Site-to-site VPN bonding, we're going to jump right in and talk about this. Reducing network costs instantly with a hybrid type MPLS. Our site-to-site VPN bonding is a proprietary solution, so it does require a Peplink Balance on either side of the tunnel or the locations that you're trying to tie together. And the real advantage here, for one, is the multi-WAN aspect of it, having 2 or 3 or more WANs connected via one virtual VPN tunnel. Provides instant redundancy. If one of the WANs fails, the VPN tunnel don't. I mean, everything still keeps flowing, doesn't miss a beat. The other huge advantage is the ability to actually bond at the packet level. So if, in other words, if you had 3 lines, each with 1 megabit upload speed, across the VPN, you would push close to that total of 3 megs, even for a single file transfer. There's about a 10% hit for overhead because the traffic is 256-bit AES encrypted, so it's highly secure as well. So it's a unique technology to create a single VPN across all WANs. Again, multiple paths for that VPN to take, so there isn't one single point of failure. Aggregated speed even for a single user session. 256-bit AES encryption, and the transparent VPN failover in under a second. So literally nothing will miss a beat. Bringing flexibility and using leased lines. Turn multiple links into one bonded pipe. Bonding the bandwidth of all the WAN links, enhancing the VPN performance and reliability. Allows you to build an MPLS-grade secure private network over commodity internet WAN links, such as cable and DSL. MPLS, Metro E, fiber lease lines, these are all very, very expensive. Businesses are always wanting more bandwidth and being able to transfer files and do video conferencing, things like that, between locations without having to go to a DS3 or a fractional DS3. Our solution takes that into account and greatly reduces the cost for that type of deployment. So again, some of the benefits, increasing the overall network speed, maximizing the WAN bandwidth utilization, unsurpassed reliability, VPN traffic will fail over in under a second, fully supports session persistent apps such as voice over IP. Highly secure, again with the 256-bit AES encryption, and the fact that it's being, all those packets are being busted across multiple WANs. It's literally impossible for anyone to try to decrypt anything. Reducing the WAN costs instantly. You can reduce WAN expenses up to 90%. Replace MPLS with site-to-site VPN bonding. We're seeing a lot of customers roll out a hybrid type solution where they already have an MPLS in place. They want to keep it there, or they're under contract, but they need more bandwidth. So they'll add cable, DSL, or both to the equation with the long-term goal of just dumping the MPLS and using multiple commodity lines. Literally, return on investment on this type of thing can be as small as 1 to 2 months. So this slide just shows multiple location, having an always-on VPN, resilient to regional link disconnections, high-speed file transfers, highly secured encrypted traffic. And here we're just seeing an office in Minneapolis, one in Houston, one in San Francisco, all tied together. Retail chains connect POS to headquarter servers, highly reliable for all transactions, secure, convenient way to transfer the data to and from the server's ERP. This slide just shows here having a bigger balance at the headquarter where the transaction server is, and a multitude of devices out in the cloud. Things like ATMs, shopping malls, supermarkets, you name it, the sky is really the limit. Actually, another application, creating bonded bandwidth for your customers, actually terminating a site-to-site VPN at your own data center. If you have sufficient bandwidth, you could actually use the Peplink Balance as a CPE device. Throw a couple 2 or 3 DSLs or cable or what have you to the customer and actually give them overall higher throughput. Because of course you can route all the internet traffic across the VPN as well. Just a small case study. This company here, 19 different branch offices, all with T1 speeds tied together. Provider wasn't meeting the SLA. They were getting some downtime, and that just doesn't work in today's business environment. Any amount of downtime is lost money and lost business. They deployed a Balance 380 at every office and added cable or DSL depending on the location. File transfer is much, much faster. Winning factor is very easy to use, super simple deployment, and we provide the complete solution. Mobile 3G, 4G bandwidth bonding. This is a picture here of our new MAX 700 mobile router, and it's a very, very hot product. The device has 4 USB ports to support various 3G, 4G modems. There's one on the front, 3 on the back. It's also got 2 wired Ethernet WAN ports for cable, DSL, or any type of connection with an Ethernet handoff. It's also got a high-powered Wi-Fi or WAN built in, so you can connect to a hotspot or a Wi-Fi signal, as well as a high-powered Wi-Fi AP for the LAN side. MIMO technology with 11N, 500 milliwatts, incredibly loud, incredibly strong, with super excellent receive sensitivity. Just a wonderful product for anyone with any type of mobile application. And the beauty here is being able to take those 3G, 4G connections and use our bonding technology, put another Balance back at the headquarters or the main office or the studio, and take advantage of all the upload capacity across all the links for a single file transfer or video streaming. Wonderful technology. High-speed WAN anywhere, bandwidth bonding for 3G, 4G links, bond all the links to increase the overall bandwidth. Seamless failover traffic to the healthy link. So what you're offering here as well is a session persistent connection for mobile users. A good example would be a bus line. Say you had a Greyhound bus and they had one of these with multiple connections provided, and customers are streaming YouTube or whatever they're doing. That's not going to break if you go into a dead zone on the cell signal, because it's going to be utilizing one of the other links as part of the VPN bonding. So again, just a wonderful, wonderful solution. MAX, specialized hardware design for mobile use. Model with 4 USBs or 2 embedded modems. So we have a newer model coming out called the HD2. It's not available for sale yet, but the HD2 actually has 2 embedded modems built right in the device. And then there's external SMA connectors for external antennas. And the beauty with this is you don't have to worry about any USB dongles. It fully supports CDMA and GSM, so you can use it with Sprint or Verizon, AT&T, and you can switch it on the fly. You can change profiles, right on the user interface. So it's a wonderful product. I expect that to be selling and shipping hopefully by the end of the year, definitely Q1 of next year. Again, bonded bandwidth, high-speed WAN network anywhere. New mobile applications possible, live, high-definition streaming, digital workflow for the media industry. Session persistence, faster large file transfers, maintain voice and video streams, and just an overall enhanced internet experience. Couple that with having an always-on network with transparent failover, and you have an absolute winning solution. So, as an example, live streaming, file uploads, leveraging the bandwidth to increase the upload speed. So, for typical 3G upload speeds, let's say you're getting 512K on 4 lines. By bonding them together, you will achieve close to 2 megs, which is adequate for some compressed HD video. Minimal overhead and latency, allowing for live video broadcasts, large file uploads. Application enhanced mobile internet service, bonding a link with 3G, 4G, LTE, WiMAX back to a data center, tunneling the internet traffic across the VPN back to the data center. Ideal for large user base, high traffic volume, prevents session disconnects, and smooth page loads. Again, you don't have to worry about that 3G dropping out in one location because one of the other connections will pick it up. Obviously, the ideal solution there is having you know, a 3G or 4G connection from various providers and not the same one. This slide is just a quick case study here. Nokia Siemens actually have been using our gear to do some demos at Mobile World Congress and CTIA. With their HSPA technology, they were able to achieve actually 106 megs using our VPN bonding technology. Pretty cool stuff. WAN load balancing, break internet bandwidth limits. So at the heart of load balancing, and I want to differentiate the two, load balancing and VPN bonding. Load balancing in and of itself allows for multiple WANs to be connected to one box, increases the overall bandwidth for the network. But a very common question that you'll probably get from a lot of your customers is, you know, they'll see, okay, I have two connections, they're both 5 meg down, so I'll be able to go and download a file on the internet at 10 megs. A very common misconception because the balance, like other load balancing solutions in the marketplace, are session-based. So each new session that's created behind the box will actually use one or the other connection, not use both simultaneously because, of course, out in the cloud, the device or server you're connecting to would have to support that. Now, with that being said, it is possible to use up all the bandwidth on your lines for a single user. An example would be a download manager, or for those people that like to do bit torrents and the like. Those types of client applications will definitely soak up all the bandwidth you have available on all lines. But the overall idea here is to add low-cost internet links to an existing network. We support transparent drop-in mode installation, so you know, no reconfiguring of the existing system needs to take place. Very, very simple method of installation. We use 7 different algorithms to load balance both the outgoing and the incoming traffic optimally. Ultimate reliability at a fraction of the cost. So over here on this slide here is just showing commodity broadband, of course, being the cheapest. T1s, MPLSs, of course, reliability keeps going up. So does the cost, and that's the whole deal here. That's what everyone wants to get down, is the overall cost while maintaining or getting better redundancy and more bandwidth. So by combining that, you can see we can gain 100% reliability and actually lower the cost. Some of the benefits of WAN load balancing. Adding bandwidth seamlessly. You can increase bandwidth anytime. Connecting new cost, lower cost internet links like cable and DSL to existing network transparently. Scale bandwidth as you need it. Again, we have a model that supports up to 13 WAN connections. And gain, of course, 100% internet uptime. All links actively are used and automatically back each other up. Everything happens so fast you won't even notice any downtime. In fact, most customers won't notice it at all unless they turn on the email notification feature built into the balance that will send an email to the network admin or the customer saying, hey, your WAN 1 connection failed. You might want to check it. Save money very fast. Again, reduce internet expenses up to 90%. Replace T1s with multiple internet broadband links. Increasing the bandwidth. So again, add WAN flexibility to the network. Add or remove WAN links as demand changes. Multiple WAN links allow for true load balancing, eliminating network bottlenecks and providing increased bandwidth for all users. Link automatically fails over upon disconnection. highest WAN uptime possible by connecting up to 13 WANs and backing each other up. Provide reliability connectivity for mission-critical applications and everyday business activities at lower cost. So again, if ISP A fails, all traffic will be rerouted across ISP B or C. Quick case study, Avocent, leading provider of KVM switching products. This is actually a worldwide deployment, 27 different locations. They looked at solutions from Cisco and FatPipe, which are both very, very expensive solutions. Winning factors, very easy to use, excellent and great stability, and the reasonable pricing, again with an ROI generally of a couple of few months. Okay, business WLAN controller and AP. Again, this is somewhat of a newer feature. We've always had our PepWave AP1, and it's a very, very high-powered access point, and it is an excellent standalone access point. The thing will do 500 milliwatts across all channels and all data rates. The output power can actually go even higher. There's a little checkbox that you can enable to crank it up even higher. There is a warning that pops up saying, you need to abide by FCC regulations, of course, but the thing will actually do up to 2 watts if you crank it all the way up. So very, very loud and excellent access point, packed full of features. It's got a captive portal built into it for SSID support, bandwidth control for the SSIDs. It's just a fully loaded AP. And with that in mind, we took it one step further, and a lot of people look at controller-type solutions. Rather than having a standalone controller, we built a software module available for the Balance 380 and higher to be able to control the APs right from within the web admin of the Balance. Easy to use, integrated WLAN solution, manage up to 500 access points with the Balance. It is a software add-on. Access point auto discovery for configuration, firmware management, seamless roaming of the Wi-Fi devices, as well as multiple SSID support. WLAN model with best of both worlds. A fit AP allowing processing offload. It'll work as a standalone device. Additional APs will not overload the controller. Of course, the controller allows for centralized control and management. Easy setup and configuration, and advanced integrated routing. Very simple to use and set up. You can manage hundreds of these things. A one-box solution, eliminating the need for a separate standalone controller. Lower cost while scaling the service level. And again, with seamless roaming, being able to maintain VoIP and video streaming sessions across the APs. Ease of use, very simple to deploy, and extreme cost savings. And with the seamless roaming, of course, being able to roam between two APs and not lose the current session that you're on, whether it be a voice call or a video streaming session. Model roadmap. So let's talk a little bit about the models that we do have, because not all features support, or not all models support all the features that we've been discussing. So this slide here on the left shows our Balance 20 and 30, which are excellent for small office, home office, power user type applications. The thing will still handle 100 megs of throughput, no problem. The difference between the two is simply an additional WAN port, Ethernet WAN port. Both models support a USB WAN as well, so technically that adds a third or fourth connection. And you can use a 3G or 4G modem as well. The 20 and 30 do not support the Peplink proprietary VPN bonding technology. That comes into play when you get into our 210 and higher series, which are geared more towards mid-sized businesses. Again, with the 100 meg throughput rating, the only difference being the additional WAN port on the 310, and they do support a USB WAN as well. Stepping up from there, really our enterprise model, and our best seller is our Balance 380. It's 1U size chassis right out of the box, so it fits nice in the rack. I'll handle a lot more users, 170 megs of throughput. The Balance 580 has 5 WAN connections compared to the 3 on the 380, and it'll do 250 megs of throughput. Also with the USB port for a 3G, 4G connection, and you can get the WLAN controller add-on to either one. Our larger enterprise models are Balance 710 and 1350. Again, scaling towards larger enterprise type applications. 350 megs of throughput on the Balance 710, and the 1350 will actually handle 1.5 gigs of throughput. 7 WAN ports on the Balance 710 and 13 on the 1350, and of course they both do support the additional USB WAN connection as well. And at first glance, you're probably thinking, holy cow, 13 WAN ports, who would ever need that? And we actually, came up with that model for a couple of reasons. There's a number of customers that are in remote or rural locations, and the best connection they can possibly get is like a 1.5 meg DSL connection over copper. Nothing else is available. So they just want to gobble up as many of those as they can. The local phone company can get them new lines and support that many DSL connections. And also, we have some customers in very high-level NOCs, very large data centers that actually needed the 1.5 gig throughput. So those are the reasons we came up with those. Retail pricing on these models: the Balance 20 sells for $295. The Balance 30 sells for $395. The 210, 310 are $1295 and $1495 respectively. The 380 and 580 are priced at $1995 and $2995, while the 710 sells for $3995 and the 1350 at $6995. So as you can see, we really have models to cover all bases. The 20s and 30s are great to great, or very great day-to-day sellers. Small people, small organizations just needing to add bandwidth. I mean, the fact that it supports 100 megs of throughput, you can throw a couple of very fast cable connections at that thing and keep on humming at a very, very low cost. Our Max series, our mobile line, our Max 600, which is still available but has really been outphased by the 700 due to it's got a much better processor, much better hardware specs on the Balance 700. The 600 actually supported a PC card slot as well as an Express card slot, but we got a lot of feedback from customers saying, yeah, the Express card, the PC card, no one's really making modems for these types of interfaces anymore. So everyone wanted more USB, so that's what we did with the Max 700 is we added additional USBs, so it now has 4, as well as the high-powered Wi-Fi WAN and LAN. The HD2, again, forthcoming. Only 6 WAN connections, 2 of them embedded. It supports a USB connection for a 3G, 4G card as well, Ethernet WAN and Wi-Fi WAN as well. And all models support our VPN bonding technology. Okay, HD2, just a couple of pictures. The back of the HD2, as you can see, it's got cellular connections and also GPS connections. They're embedded Gobi modules that are actually in this thing, and they do support GPS as well. If you don't want to use GPS, it'll act as a secondary antenna for the cellular connection as well, to provide a little diversity for the connection. On the back, so we can support the GSM networks, there's 2 spots for SIM cards, which you can just pop in. And again, the USB connections, 1 on the front and 3 of them on the back. Peplink is, again, a very global company. We have partners all over the world, not only here in the U.S. We have a far outreach, Italy, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Hong Kong, you name it. Again, we sell these things literally all over the world. And of course, we're on the social media pages as well. Feel free to check us out there. And finally, our Contact Us page. So that about wraps it up for what I wanted to go through on this slide. And I'm free to take any questions. If anyone wants to fire off any questions, I'll do my best to get them answered.
That was great, Tim. Yeah, we do have some questions. No, that was a great presentation. Thank you very much. Let's see what we've got here. First off, let's see. Have you been able to bond to a satellite to a WAN connection?
Yes, if we're talking about VSAT or even BGAN technology, yes, we've had customers use that out in the field, especially with BGAN, and they were able to bond two connections together. In one specific case, the customer was getting 256 on their BGAN, and they were able to take two of them and achieve close to 512K. So yes, we have seen it work with VSAT. The thing to keep in mind with our VPN bonding technology is it works best with connections of similar quality. So in other words, bonding a VSAT connection, say a HughesNet or WildBlue or whatever the case, that has very, very high latency with a DS3 with very low latency and very fast speeds, you're not going to get wonderful results. It works best combining links of equal quality.
Okay. Hopefully that answered the question for him. Let's see. Next question be, can you explain more about your seamless roaming, seamless roaming. Is there really no packet loss, and does it require a client-installed app?
No, it does not require a client-installed app, and yes, it's designed to be completely seamless, having the balance, keep track of the traffic that's going on amongst the AP ones. And again, it is a controller-less-based solution. It does not require a standalone controller. Okay. One other thing I want to mention to everyone, too, that the WLAN controller is a new feature for the Balance, and it is great. We're very excited about it. But if we're going to talk about the AP1s, I want to mention that we've always had a cloud-based control available for those all along. It's called In Control, and it doesn't require even a Peplink Balance to be used. It's completely done in the cloud. You can manage the APs, a number of APs. We don't charge anything for it. It's an absolute wonderful solution.
Okay, great. Let's see. I've got will current 20s and 30s and the 210s and the 310s be able to be upgraded to handle WLAN management function?
That's something that's been discussed. At this point, no. We're rolling ahead with the 380 and above. We're going to take a wait-and-see approach and see, what demand is like and what the demand is like for having the AP controller available on the smaller products as well.
Great, and this is, might have already answered this one. Do the Balance controllers route all data through them, or can the APs have them? And it says, can the APs also have other WAN connections?
I'm not sure if I understand the question. I mean, the APs normally are deployed in a bridge mode, connected to the Balance, of course, through some type of switching network. Yeah, I guess I'm not quite sure of the question there.
Yeah, sorry about that. Whoever asked the question, they could ask it maybe a little clearer. Well, actually, we might be able to, let's see if we can maybe see if we answered Rick's question. I might be able to sneak Rick in here. Hold on a second, let's see.
Okay.
For some reason, I'm having a problem for being paused for some reason. Also, he's got, does all network traffic route through the controller?
All network traffic, again, it's not designed to be a standalone controller. So that client, I would have to actually escalate that to engineering. I didn't design any of this myself. I'm in sales, obviously, but any deeper level questions, I could certainly escalate to engineering and have Scott get back with you, or myself follow up as well.
Okay. Great. I think that's it. I mean, I've got no other questions. I mean, you did a great job, Tim. I mean, that was great. And like I said, any other questions anybody has, you could forward them to us here at sales@microcomtech.com, which would be MICROCOMTEC.com. There's no H in the tech. And if questions that we can't answer, we'll definitely get Tim. I'll forward them along to Tim, and Tim can find us out the answers. Also, we have a lot of this product available, and there's the data sheets on our online store at again at microcom.us. You can probably find a lot of information there too that might be able to help you out. I don't know if there's anything else you need to add, Tim. I mean, I did a great job. I really appreciate all your time. I know everybody's busy.
Yeah. And I appreciate everyone's time as well. I'm very excited about the Balance and our AP1. And again, like Scott mentioned, they keep these products in stock, for immediate shipment. So definitely reach out to Microcom and get excited and get these things rolling. It's a wonderful product.
Okay. Well, great. Well, thank you very much, Tim, and thank you for everybody for your time. And we'll be talking to everybody soon in the next webinar. And thanks a lot, Tim, and everybody have a great day. Thank you.
Sounds great. Thanks.
Okay. Bye.